One last true road game for the Virginia football team. We welcome you into the Orange and Blue Report now, presented by the UVA Health System. My name is Dave Kane. I'm joined by the ball hawk, Ahmad Hawkins, as we break down the task ahead. Boy, no easy task for the Cavaliers this weekend with number 2 lurking down in South Florida.
Yeah, and the turnover chain. They blinging down there in South Beach. They got the bandwagon fans back on the boat, so we gotta sink that boat.
At last check, about only 1,000 tickets left for this game, so it's going to be a pretty rowdy environment, even though it's an early game, a 12 noon start coming up tomorrow down at Hard Rock Stadium. But you mentioned the turnover chain. Yeah, 24 turnovers will do that, and I don't know, chicken or the egg? Was it the turnover chain that created the turnovers, or the turnovers that created the turnover chain? Let's dive in. Yeah,
the chain is like Thor's hammer. It gives them the power. It just created a mystique of the youth.
Yeah, a little mystique returning down to South Florida. What's heavier, Thor's hammer or the chain? We'll dive into that and more. Let's take a look at some of the turnovers and how they've happened. Well, for the Miami Hurricanes this season, so much of it has centered around getting after the quarterback. The number 2 team in the country in quarterback sacks. Yes, the old adage, pressure breaks pipes. They aren't kidding.
Now, they aren't kidding, and, you know, Virginia has to do a great job of protecting Kurt Benkert. We've had injuries. We shuffled guys around the offensive line, and with Miami being in the top 3 in the country in sacks, that's going to be the first thing we have to do is protect Kurt Benkert.
Jaquan Johnson, the reigning 2-time ACC Player of the Week with the interception there, but he's not the only one that can do it. You can see some very perceptive and adept defensive backs for this Miami team.
Definitely, and that's just route recognition, film study right there. Double slants, understanding being a football player, not a robot. Once the first slant crossed his face, he understood that it was a mirror route. He jumped it, quarterback never saw him.
When you continue along on this thing, keep in mind there is only one senior on this Miami defense, but they don't play like a young group because they got a lot of testing a year ago as freshmen.
You know, they say young men love jewelry, and with that turnover chain, you see what they do when they get close to the quarterback. They're just not satisfied with a sack.
So getting after the quarterback, forcing turnovers, it's been the name of the game. And for Kurt Benkert, he's got to be put in a tough spot here. You got to be very judicious. If you force things like this can play out.
It definitely can, and this is a testament to the Miami defensive backs coach, just teaching his DBs, don't be a robot. The bait is in front of you. Something's coming behind you, trying to open up that window. And for quarterbacks, they love to stare down a corner route. And it was a pick right there, and that's one thing Kurt Benkert can't afford to do. You have to be decisive in your throws versus fast defense.
But it can't be just defense. Yeah. For Miami, there are 3 sides to the ball, and the offense has also been looking awfully good here in 2017, and largely behind a first-time starter in the form of Malik Rozier. He's 10-0 in a starter. He replaces Brad Kaaya. Kaaya, a record-setting quarterback of his own right, but one thing that Kaaya did not have that Rozier has, tell me if you've heard this one before, mobile quarterback read option.
Yeah, it's definitely scary as a defensive coordinator and also for your defensive line because they have to play assignment football. They can't get up the field and be aggressive, and that's what Miami wants you to do. They want you to create the lanes for them. That way, they just Olay block you and push you away and let their backs do the rest.
And they've got some good ones. Travis Homer takes that one the distance. He comes in to replace Mark Walton, who was lost for the season with an ankle injury. He hasn't missed a beat. The sophomore's been outstanding. It's that threat of the run that makes you so dangerous.
Definitely the threat of the run with your quarterback putting in the belly. You have to respect him. As you can see, the linebacker right here has to play 2-gap, and the backs do a great job of being decisive and putting one foot in the ground, getting up the field, and that's what makes these plays so dangerous.
Mentioned it before, it's a mobile quarterback for the Miami Hurricane offense. Rozier, maybe he's not in the mold of a Lamar Jackson, but he can still hurt you plenty.
Yeah, thankfully he's not Lamar Jackson, but he is serviceable. He can get the job done, and right here they just spread you out. Once he sees the linebacker back off, the lineman goes second level and gets to that middle linebacker, and now it's off to the races. Just a great play call, actually on first down, catching Virginia Tech playing soft zone.
But make no mistake, it is not all on the ground for this Miami team. They've got a lot of formations that can spread you out and open things up. Short passing game here, pretty effective.
Yeah, short passing game. This takes away your pass rush, and this is something that UVA has to watch out for because we are known to play a lot of man-to-man coverage when it's 3-by-1, 4 receivers. And the tight end did a great job of crossing the middle linebacker's face to influence him to not see the back coming out on that screen play. So if I'm UVA, I'm definitely looking out for this formation and maybe checking out going to a short zone to have your fourth player at corner because those wide receivers are just clearing out.
Add another little twist into this. It will be the 10-year anniversary of that 48-0 drubbing. That was Virginia taking down this very Miami team to close out the Orange Bowl, shocking the country in a lot of ways in that regard. They'll try to do it again here against the number 2 team in the country coming up tomorrow Never easy to do against teams on the road, particularly in what figures to be another live environment. But you know a thing or two about pulling wins off on the road, don't you?
Yeah, it's nothing like playing on the road, having the whole stadium against you. You're going against Miami, top 4 in the college playoffs. You're playing them at 12. We talk about Miami. Nobody's up at 12. So you can probably sneak in there and get you a victory. The main thing is you have to be consistent offensively throughout the entire game, but you have to start fast. And if you do have a lull, you better hope that your defense can pick up the slack for you.
Well, we're going to test that theory of Ahmad Hawkins tomorrow, see if folks are there at the stadium, at Hard Rock Stadium, for Virginia to pull off the upset. In your mind, simple keys.
Simple keys. Key number 1, just serving the juice, Micah Kaiser and Quinn Blandon on defense. You know, you have to keep this offense under wraps, get some third downs and outs, win on third down. Coach and I call that great game plan that we saw versus Boise State. I want that Boise State game back again, Coach and I. You can do it, Coach. And Kurt Benkert, you the man, brother. You know, I have a lot of love for you to just make plays. You have receivers who can get the job done, just get the ball in their hands, and we go from there.
All right, it should be an intriguing matchup to be sure. Virginia and Miami for the 15th time. The airwaves, we will hit the airwaves on the Virginia Sports Radio Network starting at 11 o'clock, a noon kickoff tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, everybody.